Here we are here. This is 2018, and if you missed any of 2017's MindShift Mondays, I'm gonna play every single one of them back right now. Good. So good morning and welcome to yet another MindShift Monday where we talk finances, family, and just about whatever you guys want to talk about. So go ahead and leave that comment below, and that helps us to know what's on your guys' minds as well. But we did, we kind of promised everybody that what we would do for the next quite a while is we're going to go over finances, how to become financially free. I would really encourage you and challenge you to seek out what financial freedom can do for you and your family, because you don't understand it completely until you're there, until you're debt free, until you're financially free to do with your money what you desire completely, and that you are not a slave to those that you owe money to.
Our story begins back when we first got married, of course, and neither of us had much debt coming. Well, I should say I didn't have any debt coming into the marriage.
Yep.
That's true. He married me because I was so rich. No, I'm just kidding. But Matt had the mortgage that we eventually took over together when we got married, and he had quite a few other, I would say, debt. We had a motorcycle payment. By the time we got married, we had a van payment. We had a couple personal unsecured loans. Neither of us had college debt. We didn't really have credit card debt until we got married. Then we did take out a credit card because that's what everybody does. And I guess we just didn't really know that there was another way, or we didn't really know there was a problem with how we were living. And I wouldn't say that we were out of control with our spending. We made good money. We just didn't see much of it come back in. It seemed like it came in and then it just went out the door to somebody else's name. It went out to Visa credit card. We had a small credit card, maybe a couple $1,000 balance or $1,000, but we always made the minimum payments, And we didn't have that for very long, I'd say. Maybe a year or something, I don't know. Then we decided to get rid of that. And then we kind of started the Financial Peace University by Dave Ramsey shortly into our marriage, probably in the year one. And we kind of realized, oh, there is another way to do this, that we can actually see our money work for us and kind of just be free from kind of the rat race.
So I think the thing too that we did, that a lot of you are either the point where you're at or you've been there, is, we really had no training, financial training, and school doesn't give you that, and a lot of times parents are very unsure of how to train their kids up financially, and how to talk about debt and how to talk about, we don't want our kids to know if we're behind on a payment, or that we can't pay our credit cards off, or those things. Yeah, so we don't tell our kids about some of those things, and then when our kids grow up, it's hard for them to know how to take care of that, or our credit card's bad when the credit card people are standing at the door when they go to college saying, hey, you can get this one and that one and this one over here.
Free pizza.
Yeah. So that's another thing that we're going to cover as well in the future, is how to deal with some of this with our kids and where to start them at, and how to get them involved, because it's very, very important. And that's something that we're hoping to change with our children too, is just allowing them to know and to understand more finances as a whole. But if you're in that place, you're not lost, because what we're wanting to do is give you the information that you need to be able to make better decisions in the future. You really need to be aware of where you're at financially.
And I think one of the things that we did to figure this out is just starting to write down everything where our money went. And you might have to just look at your bank account and start writing a list. Oh, I have that Amazon subscription that's once a year. Or, those reoccurring bills really catch you off guard, I think, too, that are once a year. Sometimes even the monthly bills that you have, maybe magazine subscriptions, or, those subscription boxes are kind of the rave right now. So probably You know, if you have a recurring bill of $20, you might not realize that that's something you pay every month, but it's those little things that really add up. So I think just getting even just a paper and pen and writing down these bills. So you have all of your set bills, your electric bill, your water bill, your cell phones, kind of going through, I guess we started with the 4 walls too, to really figure, okay, what was our food? What were we spending on food? Because you have no idea what you're really spending on food till you start to look at your bank account and say, boy, I didn't think we ate out a lot, but we just spent $300 that month in eating out at restaurants. Or it could be, you know, I didn't really realize we've been spending, you know, X amount of dollars on clothing. And just knowing where you're at is huge to figure out, because you can't figure out what destination you want to go to until you figure out where your current location is. And I think just writing all that stuff down. So this week we challenge you to kind of just get a paper and pen. And I'm sure there's forms online. You can Google forms for budgeting forms. But really, before you start setting up a budget, you just need to even know what you're spending your money on. And if you start seeing these, okay, then put a little M if it's a monthly bill, or a Y for yearly bill, or if you pay every 6 months for a bill. Sometimes your insurances might be set up every 6 months or once a year. And maybe some of those bills we'll talk about later, but maybe some of those yearly bills that are one-time gotchas, you might have to break up into paying monthly, because maybe you don't have that $600 once a year by the time that bill rolls around. So those are things that we're going to talk about kind of in the future. But this month, you know, this week, we just challenge you to start writing down all of your bills and your the things that you're spending your money on, to even know where you're at.
Yep. So write down everything. Every time you shop, maybe take a picture of that. You could take a picture with your phone of that receipt or whatever. Or I mean, you don't get real technical here. Just get it written down somewhere. We're doing it from this Monday to next Monday, okay? So 1 week we're gonna write everything down. And the other thing that you need to have accomplished by next Monday is have those reoccurring bills for the month all written out. Get those written down. They're gonna happen every month. And then also write down the year. If you do have any reoccurring yearly bills, get those written down as well. And then next Monday, we'll go into what a budget looks like and how to do that, and there's tons of apps, there's tons of stuff online, but try not to get caught up in all that. I mean, a lot of it's really good, but there's simpler ways, and there's just things that you need to get in motion before you get yourself too techied up on some of that stuff. It's better to just get a plan and get going. So this week, MindShift, shift your mind. Let's write everything down and get a good week's worth, so we can at least have an idea of where we're going to start for that budget.
So we want this video to encourage you and uplift you. We don't want it to be like we're holding this dagger at you like we have it all figured out, because we certainly don't. This was a journey, and even when we became debt-free, it's not like all of a sudden we've reached this final destination of like, sweet, now we never have to worry about finances. You know, finances are a daily part. It takes money to operate a household, and it takes money coming in, and it takes money going out, and it's just trying to find a balance that works for you guys. So we don't want this to be coming across that we have it all figured out and that we're just up on this high horse, because we certainly have months that we do really well and we are communicating really well, and there's other months that we just start over the next month. And it's okay to realize where you've been, and it's great to realize where you can be headed. So we don't want this to be a video that you focus so much on the past of what you didn't do right, you know, because new beginnings, new changes in 2018, we could forget what's behind and just have a fresh perspective. And maybe this will be something that will just challenge you in your marriage, or if you're single and trying to figure it out that way too, we want to help to just be accountable with you.
Yeah, so thanks so much for joining us for this MindShift Monday, and do definitely keep up with this series. It's going to be a great one. Leave some comments below on if you're taking part in writing everything down, or if you have a comment on maybe something that you think maybe people are leaving out of their budget, or that needs to be written down. Make sure to leave that comment, and that would be helpful for everybody. And we'll just be a community, and we'll work through this together. Like Bethany said, we don't all have it figured out. So we're really looking forward to doing this with you, and thanks so much for watching.